Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tombeni. I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic today. Now this story unfolds when 33-year-old Sibusiso Mahlangu is arrested at a roadblock in Hammanskraal. He is arrested because he is driving a stolen VW Polo. This all happens on 20 April 2023. Now, this car was actually reported missing in Witbank. So for it to be found in Hammanskraal, it had came quite a long way. Nevertheless, Sibusiso is taken into custody and police ask him for his ID number. He provides them with two different ID numbers, but the second one is his actual ID number. But there's something very peculiar about the situation because this man is registered as deceased. Unbeknownst to the police, they're opening up a can of worms, and upon further questioning, they establish that he and his wife, 32-year-old Rato Mahlangu, had actually killed and burnt a man in their marital home a year prior in Soshanguve, Block HH. The community in Soshanguve say that the married couple were not very likable, but that they did everything together, including plotting and faking the death of Sibusiso Mahlangu. Yes, the man that died in the fire was not Usibusiso Mahlangu, but Usibusiso Sithebe, the ex-boyfriend and father of Lerato Mahlangu's 10-year-old daughter. And for ease of telling the story and just so you guys can follow better, I am going to utilize either their surnames or the full names of the people because their names are quite similar. Sibusiso Sithebe was a taxi driver, a peaceful man, and a man who loved his family. His family was quite puzzled as to how he even ended up in the Mahlangu's home, as Sithebe and Lerato Mahlangu would communicate about their daughter through Sithebe's sister. And according to Sithebe's brother, he had last seen them together about 7 years ago after their breakup. However, Sibusiso Sithebe's girlfriend and high school sweetheart, Lerato Mpefo, paints a completely different picture, claiming that Lerato Mahlangu had resurfaced back into her boyfriend's life in October of 2021. Upon her resurfacing, Lerato Mahlangu had told Sibusiso Sithebe that their daughter had gotten sick, and she thinks that the daughter was sick because she hadn't attended her grandmother's funeral, and the daughter indeed was in a terrible state. But after Sibusiso Sithebe had seen his daughter, any other attempt for him to see his daughter had fallen on deaf ears. Lerato Mahlangu had just taken it as an opportunity for her to meet up with Sithebe. On the 29th of December 2021, the married couple show up at Sithebe's home. However, they find Lerato Mpefo at the home. They tell Lerato Mpefo that they had come in person to get Sithebe's number because Lerato Mahlangu had lost his number. Furthermore, that they would bring their daughter the following day, but she never did this. 2 days later, it is New Year's Eve, and Lerato Mpefo was to spend New Year's with her family. So as she's getting ready to leave, Sibusiso Sithebe convinces her to stay with him instead, and she does. That night, their daughter cries hysterically. They had never heard their daughter cry like that before. It disturbs Usibusiso Sithebe so much that he leaves his home and comes back at midnight. He cries as well. They kneel down and the couple decide they need to pray. He tells his girlfriend that I cannot pray. Personally, I believe that this was his intuition just letting him know that okay, it is almost time. After feeling all of the emotions that he felt the previous day, he wakes up and he doesn't want to go to work. He wants to spend time with his family. So Stebe calls up his brother, Kulani Stebe, and he asks his brother to bring a cake. They want to celebrate his girlfriend and his daughter's birthdays, which have fallen on the 27th and the 28th of December, respectively. So the brother brings the cake and they all go to Lerato Mpefo's family. Whilst celebrations are underway, Sibusiso keeps getting phone calls, like someone is busy calling him and calling him. And Pefo's mother urges him to just switch off the phone and be in the moment. But he tells her that he's actually awaiting a very important phone call about a taxi driving job. He finally gets the phone call that he's waiting for and he leaves his family. He needs to start working. He calls his girlfriend while he's on the road and he tells Laradon Pefbo that don't wait up, I will be home by 10 p.m. I got the job. But Sisipo Stebe never comes home. It's on the morning of 1st of January 2022, 1 a.m. to be exact, that Olerato Mahlangu gets a phone call from her neighbor alerting her that her house is on fire. This doesn't make sense. How can this happen? She's questioning her neighbor. She asks her neighbor one question in particular. She asks her neighbor, where is my husband? The neighbor doesn't know what to tell her. She just says, girl, you need to get here as soon as you can. And she does just that. Lerato at the time was in KwaMhlanga. She was there for work. She had relocated for work, so she didn't know anyone and she needed to get there really quickly. It's 1 a.m. There's no public transport around that time, so she decides I need to take an Uber, and she takes an Uber all the way to Soshanguve. Now this is suspect because KwaMhlanga is quite a distance from Soshanguve, but it said that she got there in around 15 to 30 minutes. Furthermore, the Uber didn't drop her off at her house. It dropped her off at a spaza shop, leaving her to walk a bit of a distance to her home. When she gets to her home, there's already police inside. They let her know that there is a body there, and she tells them, you know what, this body is probably my husband. When she gets into the room, there's a man lying on the bed, one hand on the stomach, the other stretched out. She takes the left hand and checks for the pulse. When she doesn't find one, she closes the man's eyes and screams out her husband's name. She then follows by kicking everyone out of the room and covering the dead body with a blanket. Her husband's family ends up burying Sibusiso Stebe instead of Sibusiso Mahlangu. And whilst she is busy playing grieving widow, Sibusiso Stebe's family is out looking for their loved one profusely. It is alleged that Olerato Mahlangu had submitted a fraudulent death certificate to Home Affairs in order to claim R500,000 in insurance payout from Old Mutual. When pathologists had exhumed the body for DNA testing, they had also found carbon monoxide levels in the body to be at about 70%, as well as toxication levels at about 0.31%, which means that Usibusiso Stebe was intoxicated whilst torched alive. It's not clear exactly how they lured him to their home, but when Sibusiso Stebe's family did further investigating on their own part, they had found that in his phone logs, the last person he had called was Lerato Mahlangu, and the location of his phone at the time was Lerato Mahlangu's home. But when they asked her when she last spoke to him, she had told them that she last spoke to him either in October or November. In court, however, Lerato claims that she and Tebe had had an affair and that the day before he was murdered, she was going to end the affair because her husband had grown suspicious of them. She also says that they were supposed to meet a day before he got murdered, but she never met up with him and she just went to work Kwamhlanga as she worked at Old Mutual in Pola Park. You must be asking yourself, where is her husband in all of this? Well, in Mr. Mahlangu's statement, he recounts the 1st of January 2022. He says that he was home alone as his wife was in Kwamhlanga, Mpumalanga. That's where she worked. He heard something in their house. When he went to go check it out, he saw an intruder climb through the window. He and the intruder both tussled and he ended up killing the intruder. After that, he doused the intruder with petrol and set him alight. Lerato and Sibusiso Mahlangu both faced 3 counts of fraud as well as a count for conspiracy to murder. There's a lot of questions when it comes to this case, but they're both very much involved. In my opinion, I think because there were toxins in Tebe's body, I think that he and Lerato had linked up at her home. Now, it was just the day after New Year's. They could have just been like, let's go celebrate. She probably left, went to the spaza and let her husband finish the job. They burnt the house and then it's when she walked up, because it only took her like 15 minutes, so she probably just walked up the street to her home. That's what I think went down. But then again, that's just my opinion. Definitely share your opinions down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear them. We can discuss it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks to everyone who's been liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It means so much to me. Bye.